Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
This is Alex,
This is Dominique.
and we are once again talking to all of you about Rupaul's Drag Race Season 8. Start your engines. Anyway, so we're officially into episode 1. Here's the disclaimer to everyone. If it seems like I'm coming for any of the queens or talking shit about any of the queens, I love all of them. I have nothing but respect for anyone that's been on that show, or even drag queens that haven't. But you know,
like I'm on a YouTube video, I'm gonna talk my shit, but let's all
I mean, look, and it's like, the split second anyone wants to take offense to anything that I have, or that either of us have to say about it, honest and truly, how many times have either of us been on RuPaul's Drag Race? Never. So what do we really know about the experience or being on the show? Not a gosh darn thing.
Nothing.
So it's all good. We're going to have our opinions. We're going to make jokes about it. And we're going to obviously make them more exaggerated because it's fun. We have a lot to cover. And we're going to try and do it relatively in a time-efficient manner, which for the two of us means if this video is less than an hour, praise God. So starting off, let's talk about the entrances of the queens. Who stood out for the good and who stood out for the bad? Best entrance outfits. Go.
For me, I loved the lingerie, basically that Naomi Smalls walked in, only because her legs went from here to like heaven on her.
Can we talk for 10 seconds how many of the queens walking in had to duck their heads on their way in? You think of previous...
They were like, I'm going to wear my highest heel, do it up.
I'm telling you, I feel like I'd be a hobbit compared to some of these queens. Are you kidding?
I was so statuesque, so perfect. She walked in looking like a dream. Right? She was on my top list just because of the beauty, the grace. She's Miss United States, if you ask me.
Did you just make a Miss Congeniality reference?
I did.
That's the best thing ever.
I figured it's fine because that's exactly what went through my mind when she walked through the door.
That's amazing. Okay, so you had Naomi Smalls liking her outfit. Who else did you like?
I liked Kim Chi, of course. She looked like kind of like a origami Laffy Taffy, but like in a hot way.
I'm totally down. I'm going to chop suey the competition.
Exactly. I'm like, oh my God, what are you, some coffin nails?
Right. I'm like,
not to mention that after when they were undressing, she bit them off, which I was like,
right.
Do what you gotta do, bitch.
I agree about Naomi Smalls. I loved Kim Chi. Thor to me, I don't know what the thought was. I was seriously sitting there going, she looks like a disco trapeze artist for the Fire Crotch Circus. It was insane. There was too much. There was too much.
She looked like she was in like the Gryffindor Hogwarts marching band.
Oh my God.
I was like, okay.
And I love her. I love her. Oh my God. I keep wanting to say, not my thing. I'm not feeling it. But I swear to God, something about the way she smiles and just her energy. I'm just like, God, I love Thorgy. I don't get it. I
I love her energy. My top 3, she's probably like the 3rd or 4th in my top 3, only because I really like Bob's leotard. When he cocked his arm, the C was in.
Thank you. Okay, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, this queen in the green shirt. I'm sitting here going, why does she have "unt" written on her bathing suit?
Yeah, so that when she posed with her arm, it was a C.
So, although now that I think about it, you were the one that kind of had to explain charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent to me, which...
That's true.
Can we talk about it? Was that ever mentioned in the first episode?
I don't remember. I don't feel like it was as much of a big deal as they normally make it, especially like the first photo shoot.
Yeah.
She's like, show me your charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Yeah, exactly. Outfits that we weren't crazy about.
I gotta start with Acid Betty. She looked like Powerline from a Goofy movie. With like the shoulders and the 2 colors and then throw the hair on top of it. I was like, oh my God, she looks like Powerline.
That is so unbelievably...
If we listen to each other's hearts. That's all she had to do for me, and she's probably been my top 50.
That's awful. I did notice when she came in, like, she's running around and she's like, let's all be nice to each other, like, before we start hating each other. And RuPaul's Drag Race is like the absolute king, queen, duke, duchess, and maybe even prince of let's just have a reaction shot that probably had nothing to do with what that person was legitimately reacting to.
But was so fucking shady. Like, you gotta edit it right in there.
Like when Cynthia was like, I was like, she just met her. No, I'm sorry.
She didn't do that.
She didn't do that. Anyway, yeah, wasn't super in love with Acid Betty. I loved the makeup.
The makeup was great, but once again, like,
it was
if
a little...
I could have gotten Powerline out of my head, I might have been able to be a little bit more judicious.
Now that you've said that, I'll never stop seeing that. Okay, so have we covered outfits?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think we have like a third least favorite for me, and it had to be Naisha. She looked like Ariana Grande, like a baby hooker.
You know what? I didn't mind the outfit. I just was kind of like meh.
Fifi O'Hara meets Ariana Grande.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah, it wasn't a bad outfit, and she is, since we don't know who left yet, gorgeous.
She is.
Absolutely gorgeous, but I swear to God, when she came in, it's like, I'm pretty, and the best thing about my drag is that I'm pretty. I was like, oh.
But I'm funny.
Oh my God, this is gonna hurt. Like, I'm in pain right now. It's burning flames on the side of my face. Anyway, yeah, that's...
Works out, though.
There you go. So, getting past the clothing, impressions on the queens. Who made a good first impression? Who made a bad first impression?
I feel like good first impressions, I really like how kind of Dax came into the room and really kind of asserted some of her nerd power. Because I don't know. I was on the fence about Dax in Meet the Queens. I think I still am because she hasn't really shown me a lot.
Yeah.
But I liked her impression in the room. I like how she walked in looking like Storm. I like how she tried to kiki with the queens in her way.
Yeah.
And I thought that was okay. The New York girls as an entire group, I felt so bad for everybody else in the room, but I was like, yes, queens! Because it's like when you see your best friend at Dunkin' Donuts at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, oh my God, you're here too! So I just got where they were coming from, and I loved their energy as a group.
Yeah.
Except for Acid Betty, who was like, fuck these hoes, I don't care about you. I didn't want to be here with you anyway. Why bother you?
Yep.
At one point, Acid Betty called people from the Brooklyn Queens like unwashed and hairy, so...
That's right. I completely forgot about that.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh, some of the sound bites from this episode, I swear to God, were just fantastic. I was like, let's not talk about Naomi Malone, right, Derek Barry? Right, Derek Barry?
Right, Derek Barry?
I was like, and you're from Vegas. That was doubly offensive.
Right? Are you kidding? No, that was rude. And I would have been like, bitch, no, I'm not. I'm not Naomi, just like Naomi.
Sorry about it. No, so, yeah, worst first impressions were definitely Naisha for the whole pretty, I'm pretty. Have I mentioned I'm pretty? And I was like, okay, first off, you're correct, because you are gorgeous. That being said, Naomi Smalls is still more gorgeous. Sorry about it. And, yeah, you're on Drag Race. I was going to say, and all the queens that have been like, I'm pretty. Yeah, that's worked out insanely well.
Guess what, guys? You're all pretty. Because out of thousands of drag queens, here you are.
There it is.
It's like we used to have to tell girls when they're fighting, everybody's pretty. Let's just...
Everyone's pretty. Girls, quit fighting. Go to your separate corners. So, what big, not real surprise, because it was all over social media, what did you think of the photo shoot where they brought in all, with an asterisk, because Bianca wasn't there, of the previous winners of RuPaul's Drag Race?
I thought it was a really cool challenge because it did show the girls, like, hey, if you're here, you're going to get clocked by these bitches if you cannot take a picture.
Hello.
But she also came in wearing flats, so we're not going to discuss it.
Girl! Layla McQueen.
I was like, excuse me, do you know where you are? So I really like that everybody was there, except for, Tyra, because I just don't want to see Tyra's face. But everybody looked beautiful. I thought it was really hilarious that Jinx and Robbie had on the same wig.
Clock it.
Basically. I mean, I hate to clock it, but Jinx is looking at you like, bitch stole my look. What are you wearing?
I was going to say, apparently there is one wig shop in Seattle. Apparently.
There's one wig shop, and there's one look, and you can only buy a very thin eyebrow pencil, and that's all you got. Have it. I mean, we have 4 queens from New York. We have 3 queens from one borough.
Really?
And they look completely different, so I feel like
Right. Well.
that was shade.
Wait, so New York Queens are Acid Betty, Thorgy Thor, Bob the Drag Queen. Who's number 4? That rhymed. What?
Maybe it's only 3.
I thought it was only 3. Okay, so yeah, I loved that challenge. I thought all the queens looked great. It took me a hot minute for me to appreciate the facial jewelry that Raja was wearing.
Oh yeah, that like big. She looked like
it was like a
claw was on her face, but then like gorgeous.
Yes, and yeah, she looked great. But I was like, I want to see your face
because it's beautiful.
Because she does.
I did like that though. I thought that was a really fun challenge. I feel like that some of the queens really did work the entire room. Yes. I have to give Derek Barry some props on that because Derek Barry's like, can I use this over here? What about the can I sit like this with my leg on her? Can I, you know what I mean? Like, yes. Giving us Brittany Elvis, which I've said the thing about Brittany, I know it, but that Brittany Elvis was good.
Yeah. Perfect. What's funny is what I love is that Derek Barry really didn't do much for me in the Meet the Queens, and not a tremendous amount has changed from the first episode. But I did love that some of the reactions of the queens from her little comments, like, oh, if you like to gamble, bet on me. Silence. And what was it? I can't remember. Who's giving up carbs? That I actually thought was funny. So again, I'm like, is that just Logo editing the show because they want us to like/not like somebody? I don't know.
Right.
I found it interesting. But yeah, no, she killed that challenge. I'm actually very surprised that Robbie Turner won. I thought
I was too. I loved Robbie's picture. Like Robbie looked beautiful.
She had a great picture.
I thought some people who made an impression, like Kim, she looked like she was rising from the earth in her picture, and I thought that was really cool. Like Laffy Taffy Crab, I kind of liked her picture a lot. I also liked that. Excuse me, and this is biased. Naomi Smalls was giving us cakes in her picture.
I'm sorry, Naomi Smalls was killing that picture. What was it? I like Naomi's. I like Kim Cheese. But yeah, Robbie Turner's was good. Not Robbie Smalls. That would be an awfully interesting looking baby. But yeah. Moving right along. What did you think of the Queen Sans drag?
I thought there were actually some really handsome queens, but excuse me, Thorgy Thor, you are thirsty. She was looking at like every queen like, I do her, who hasn't done her? Like, it was so funny to like watch their reactions to each other more so.
Yeah.
Because just the comments were great. I thought Cynthia was super cute out of drag, and surprisingly doesn't look that different.
How excited were you to see them revisit all the crazy design challenges?
I thought that was fucking brilliant.
That was
brilliant because it just forced the queens to go, look, bitch, this is what you get, make it.
Yep.
And I think that's the best part of RuPaul's Drag Race, just like any other kind of reality competition show. Like, what can you actually do? If I give you some hideous curtains, what can you actually do if I give you a bunch of fucking Christmas decorations or some trash?
Right.
Like, you have to be able to come up with something conceptual, something that looks good, and it's really funny to watch people have meltdowns.
Oh my gosh. Every time.
Like, Chi-Chi, I love you, but watching that thing rip on your ass was basically what I live for in reality television.
Yeah. Well, can we also... Well, you gotta love in any design challenge, there's always that person that's like, oh my gosh! And they always show someone freaking out because their garment rips or something like that. But sometimes I wonder, did that garment rip with like 2 hours on the clock and nothing but time to fix it? Because it's always like, oh no, my garment ripped, what am I gonna do? And I feel like 9 out of every 10 times that happens, the person's fine and then is safe. I mean, occasionally it's like, yeah, they rip it right before they go out and then they get sent home because it still looks terrible. What did you think of Robbie Turner forgetting to give herself a topic?
Dummy. I would have picked my topic first. As soon as I saw the one I wanted, I'd have been like, okay, that's me.
Yeah.
But, like, you gave yourself probably one of the hardest challenges because there's a dog.
Right?
There's a dog.
Well,
and the materials that they gave them that challenge were just kind of like, I think the most logical next question would be the thoughts on the Naysha and Chi-Chi combo.
It's one of those ones where I'm like, this is the first episode, and this has very little to do with getting to know who the queens are or anything like that. So the more Naysha talk, the more I'm like, you're probably going to be in the bottom two.
Just so much detail about, well, I did this and I did that, and then they showed these pictures, and I'm like, what was Chi-Chi's question?
I don't even think there was a question. I think it was just
like started with like, Chi-Chi with her flat eye and just kind of doing it real.
Right.
And then Deja talking about how pageants and I won. And
yeah, I was just kind of like, good for you.
I think Chi-Chi was like, I get clothes from the trash. So. Kimchi talking about her mother not even knowing that she's a drag queen.
What do you think about that?
Recognize her in pictures that she showed her mom, which I'm pretty sure she showed her to be like, what do you think? And expected her mom to be like, is that you? And her mom was like, that's cool. I think that must be really difficult because I'm sure that Kimchi expected to be able to show her mom the pictures and then kind of have the conversation from there.
Yeah.
Or she might have been shady and been like, I'm going to show this to my mom and see if she can figure this out. But talking about how she wasn't like the perfect child that every Asian parent wants. It's just kind of like, but you're pretty.
Right? And Kimchi's one of my favorites. But here's the thing I don't want to call it a beef with it. Like, if you are a drag queen and you're anywhere above the age of 25, probably even less, you've probably got some level of waters with your parents.
Right.
So who they pick and choose to like express that on, that's something that just, I don't know. But something about just showing that, obviously, that makes Kimchi very likable. I think she's already really likable. So
and
kind
it
of
tugs on the little heartstrings, so you already start to think of that person as somebody you want to root for.
Exactly. You kind of have that, oh, she's had a rough ride with her mom. I really like her. And it's like that element of it, while it's great storytelling, absolutely. I'm to the point of, I'm kind of like, I just want to know what they do in the competition.
Like, I just kind of want to stick to the meat and potatoes of this.
Exactly. Like, I'm sure that they all have really fascinating backstories or things that were going on prior to Drag Race. I'm sure of it. Runway looks that stood out for the good, and runway looks that stood out for the bad.
Acid Betty turned it out with the dollar bills, y'all.
You think so?
I kind of do. I really liked it. I think that a lot of kind of construction went into it. I agree with the judges on that. I really liked that it looked like a dress made of money. Like, and her challenge was Moneyball.
I didn't mind Acid Betty's look. I rewatched it, and I remember wishing that it had a little bit more movement to it. Like, you think of Manila's dress in the Moneyball, like, all the dresses in the Moneyball had a lot of movement. They were all really long, and they had some element, some more than others, that had a little element of, like, flowiness to it. And hers just seemed very rigid. I didn't dislike it.
It was very strict.
Yeah, looking at it, it just looked like it'd be an uncomfortable garment to wear. So,
yeah, and I agree with that. Which I mean, you kind of slap together.
Yeah, you know, and it's like I'm not talking shit because I could never make anything out of free fabric, let alone putting money on it. But that was
I can't turn on the sewing machine. So.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, where's the power button? Meanwhile, Bianca Del Rio's like halfway through making a dress. So yeah, respect. Absolutely respect.
And I would have a hot glue gun and be like, how do I...
Where does the glue go in this? The one that threw me a little bit was Naomi Smalls came out, 0 padding, 0 contour in the chest, 0 below the neck, other than wearing a dress of being a woman, and she still looked marvelous.
Incredible! Oh my god! When Nicole Richie said, I like that she looks like she could pass out at any moment, I was like, me too. And she looks flawless. All legs, all arms, all limbs. She looked like Naomi Campbell. Like,
yeah, she looked.
And she had that heavy ass bow, which looked like it weighed more than she did.
That was the best.
She's like 110 pounds. The boat's like 94 pounds.
I know I would have been the one going, Robbie Turner, do you want to rethink giving me that colossal ass boat?
It'd be like, do you want this boat?
Right? This is the SS. Go fuck yourself. I don't want this boat.
Anyway. I don't know why nobody on the season that actually had the boat challenge looked like it was that cumbersome, but
yeah.
I just think they all ate a little bit more. They had a sandwich. And she was like, fuck your sandwich, I'm going to have a Mentos.
Jack's exclamation points, I really couldn't remember when I went to rewatch The Runway, but when I rewatched it, I was like, she looks really good with that Hello Kitty.
She does, with pink, the Hello Kitty, the pink.
And the padding. She was padded for the god. She looked really good.
Dad ass though.
Dad I really wish that when she did interviews as a boy, she would draw on eyebrows. I really do.
It's because she does like the eyebrow up, which is very like, New York Fashion Week circa like 2011, which is totally fine, but it really makes her look kind of elfin. Elfin? Is that
I was going to
like
say, it makes her face, and especially since, she's black and she obviously moisturizes, her face just looks like a slab of wax with a face drawn in it.
Yeah. It gets
eyebrows.
But I did like her pink. I think she looked very Hello Kitty. I think she understood the challenge and she just executed it.
She did very well.
Which is great, and it's going to take her, I hope, far in the competition.
Yeah, she was one that I expected she might be one that goes relatively early, but if she hits the challenge on the head, like she did with this one, I imagine she's going to last. It's hard to say it lasts like really long because the season only has 12 queens. We're already down to 11 queens.
Yeah, it feels so short, so I wonder what the twist is going to be. Let's just hold out.
I know. I'm like, well, they're definitely going to have to, there's going to have to be a non-elimination leg, like it's the Amazing Race. Non-elimination episode, and then when they bring someone back, they have to. They absolutely have to. I'm like, 12 queens, it's just not enough! What else?
Kimchi and her hair.
Kimchi, I really like Kimchi's look. She looked like she was trying to pass about 18 kilos of cocaine, where you normally would try and pass cocaine, and maybe one of the bags burst up in there, because that walk, all I could really think, I was like, and thank God Michelle had the common sense, or that they edited her in the episode to say, I think you were going for a character, because I didn't think so. But
I didn't think that either. I thought she didn't know how to walk in her shoes, but I'm like, she walked into the workroom without looking like...
What lion character do you know walks like a robot smuggling cocaine up its butt? I'm sorry. I liked the outfit. It showed a lot of ingenuity, and she looked great.
I also like that she had a concept. Like, she was like, the Givenchy collection where he had the pad.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, now I can kind of see it, except for it's a wheeze. We see each other.
I'm like,
outfits I did not like. Bob, love Bob. I understand you had curtains. That ugly ass purse.
I thought for what Bob was given, he did okay.
He did okay, but damn, did they have to give you those curtains? They came off of a dead woman's window.
A dead white policeman? A dead white policeman?
It was so ugly.
The fact that it was curtains, I totally give you that. I thought, and then I think Bob has the capacity, I feel, to take a garment that looks terrible and make it look like it's worth $1 million. And granted,
and I think that in the confidence that he presented with leading with the purse, I was like, okay, I see you.
Yeah. Robbie, I almost called him Robbie Williams. What the hell?
Robbie Turner. Remember Robbie Turner classic movies?
Robbie Turner, I'm going to forget that.
What's
funny, I've been saying Robbie Turner all day, and now that we're filming, I can't remember Robbie Turner to save my ever-loving life. Can we please talk about how they took the white out of Magnolia Crawford's dress from season 6? And that's what he put some dog biscuits over the tits, and that was basically it.
His tits look like meat. It looked like he had meat tits.
What's funny is I thought he was wearing I thought he was wearing giant M&Ms on his chest. Because he had the 3 biscuits that were like, I totally thought he was wearing.
Little nip biscuit.
I really liked Thorgy Thor's look.
Oh, she looked like cake.
She did. In general, Thorgy Thor is one of those ones I'm like, I see her leaving relatively early. Like, I don't see her making it past, like, episode 4 or 5, but I want her to. There's something about when she's in drag, and just when she smiles, it just seems so sincere, and I think that's what...
Yeah, I just want to see her more. Because I can clock Thorgy Thor for, like, 7 things if I was nitpicky.
Yeah.
But I don't care about those 7 things because I like her so much.
She's just
that's what we want to see in America's Next Drag Superstar. Like, that's the fucking point. You know
she's like,
I mean?
I'm just having fun, and I'm not gonna be as pretty as all the queens. I'm not gonna be
I'm a man in a dress and
I'm not gonna be as polished as all the queens. I'm gonna have a damn good time, and I really don't care. And she doesn't seem like a total and utter bitch, which is a plus. So I really love that look. And when she said, I don't normally wear dresses, I was like, oh, but you should. Oh, Cynthia Fontaine.
Cynthia
Lee Fontaine.
There you go. I like that she calls her butt her cuckoo, but that's literally the positive feedback I have on her outfit. It was basic. It was just enough.
Yes.
To keep her safe, and I need people to do more than just enough to keep you safe. So I don't just call them out for just sticking some pieces of candy on a corset and show me your asshole and then walking down the runway, which is fine. I'm just saying.
I really like Cynthia. I think she's great. I love her energy.
It's like that she says, my cuckoo has enough space.
My
I know
cuckoo.
What that feels like.
Yeah, to me, she is like... It's like we were having this conversation that Derek Barry is kind of like Willem and Courtney Act's daughter on Lithium. Like, Cynthia is Yara Sophia's, like, cousin on crack, and I love it.
But I love that she randomly started making a bird sound or
a
frog sound in the workroom.
Yeah.
I was like, because in my head I'd have been like, bitch, where's the Coke? And why didn't you offer it? Not even to keep up, you're rude.
Like, her dress wasn't anything amazing, but I really like her. Like,
I think she's funny. I want to see her in a acting competition.
Yes.
Mostly because I want to see her recite lines.
Cuckoo. I was gonna say there's definitely something here that's cuckoo, but it ain't your ass. Who's left? I know we're missing somebody.
Naysha and her hog body.
Oh my god. Oh.
Here's the thing, okay? Here's what it is about a hog body that pisses me off. You don't have a hog body. I do. Adore did. You know, we need to cinch it.
Yes.
But she doesn't have that problem.
No.
And yet, you made a garment that made you look this fucking big. Like, it was way too much.
Yeah.
And how? How'd you fuck that up?
The fact that she literally left, like, side boob to, like, back shoulder.
Illusion, like,
to, like, keep the whole thing open? I was like,
yeah,
why?
it's like white. And then it really was a toga. And I feel like, and she said
a toga would have closed up all the way.
Never stay on Drag Race or a Project Runway. I've never done X, Y, or Z before.
I'm sorry.
I don't give a fuck. If you got on to Rupaul's Drag Race, you had some notice, and you should have gone somewhere and been like, how do I turn the machine on? And how do I make this fabric stick to this fabric?
I'm sorry. The split second you get the idea in your head, I want to be on Rupaul's Drag Race, that is when you start learning to sew.
And then Layla, I mean, she came on the show saying that she didn't want to be looked at as a Sharon Needles, and then wore like that World War II military style hat. At a post-apocalyptic challenge, it wasn't necessary.
You know what? I know she's getting a lot of flack for it. I didn't mind Layla McQueen. Yeah, like I said, her outfit wasn't super. Just looking at her, I'm sorry, you constructed an entire jacket. Good for you. And yeah, I'm like, yeah, could she have come up with something a little bit more interesting, waist bottom? Sure. I personally didn't get post-apocalyptic from the outfit, but I still thought she looked great.
I hate her hat. And I mean, I feel like I lost respect for her when she walked in wearing those soda shoes, like I used to wear in like 6th grade. They were just big and clunky and like a Spice Girl, and I was just kind of like, you look like Beetlejuice Spice.
Yeah.
But like not in a great way. And then her bar was so big it pushed her nose up on the side.
Yeah.
And so she looked like a warthog. Like, it's just too much.
Yeah. It was Chi Chi DeVayne. I don't know if we talked about her outfit. I don't think we did.
Disco ball, toga, boring.
Yeah. Next. I was going to say that
Eric Berry looked like Regina George.
Oh my gosh.
From Mean Girls in the little Jingle Bell Rock dance.
Yeah.
It was boring and it was stupid. And if he hadn't ripped off that skirt to trim his bush, I feel like, I don't even know how he was in the top.
I'm going to have a hard time watching Derek Barry because I feel like she's going to be the queen that's probably safe for a good long while when I feel like they shouldn't be. But yeah, I was like, you were wearing a bikini top and a mini skirt.
It was so basic, I just couldn't even get behind it.
Yeah, and like a Wonder Woman cuff that doubled as a muff? I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I would have put her below Layla McQueen in an instant.
So to the lip sync.
To the lip sync. The winner of the challenge was Kimchi, and a well-deserved win. I think Naomi Smalls was like somewhere near second. Bottom two was Layla McQueen and our dearly beloved Nasia Lopez.
Lopez looked like Miss Pac-Man. She looked like she was trying to get all the fruit. Get the fruit! She looked like Pac-Man. And I was like, I get that, like, she's trying to do a little bit of both, but literally at some point I was like, this is not applause.
Neither one of them should have been able to breathe with a song like Applause. By the end of that lip sync, they should have needed like 5 minutes just to catch their breath. And that was the overall tone of the lip sync to begin with, where it was kind of like, okay, and I think deservedly Layla McQueen ended up staying. I think so.
She did work, like, Layla barely moved during her lip sync.
Yeah.
Well, I think left that spot on the stage.
Yeah, and I think what I find interesting is I feel like if the cast had been bigger, I seriously would have been looking at RuPaul going, is she going to cut them both?
Them and both.
I'm like, is this a Honey Mahogany Vivian Panay situation? Because...
Or you just think I'm sick of looking at both your asses lace.
Right? Because, I'm sorry. And then, when she announced that Layla McQueen was staying, I was half thinking, is it going to be like the episode 100 twist that she doesn't eliminate someone? Because that would break my heart.
I know that I cannot be the only person who wasn't upset that nobody did a death drop when the beat dropped on that song twice. Yeah, I wanted somebody to literally give us a little bit of Laganja Estrada and just fall the fuck down.
I was going to say, I think if you're able to do it, you have to throw it in there at least once. But I'm guessing that neither one of those queens know how to death drop. If that had been that song, there should not have been an inch on the one that's closer to being parallel to the judges, and then the actual walk or runway
that you didn't touch.
There should not have been an inch that they didn't touch.
The person who deserved to go home went home.
I agree.
For a couple of reasons. Her picture wasn't impressive, her runway was not impressive, and her lip sync was abysmal. But she literally is one of the most beautiful queens that has ever been on that show, and I will give her that.
I would easily say out of 100 queens, she is easily in the top 100. I'm sorry, top 10.
Top 100, top 10.
All right, so in closing, oh wait, I forgot because you had mentioned that you wanted to do shady moments.
Oh, shady comment of the episode.
Oh God, I had like 8. Layla McQueen's shining moment for me was when Derek Barry walks in and she goes, "Oh yeah, Derek Barry, she's a quasi-celebrity."
Like, oh bitch, that was shady. Robbie Turner was like, "Let me tell you a little story about flats." No. And then Bob followed up when she was like, "Skechers, it's the S."
I have it written down, but I don't remember who said it. Someone said it's a Florence Henderson shade of poop brown. Was that? I want to say that was Kimchi that said that, right?
I don't remember who did it. Acid Betty saying all Brooklyn queens are unpolished and hairy.
Yes.
It's definitely in my top. It's been about an hour, so
Jesus.
Probably wrap it up. And look forward to doing this again for the next at least 12 weeks.
Right. Hopefully, depending on how long the season they go.
Hopefully people watch it. Hope people like it.
I was going to say, if you guys like it, feel free to give us a thumbs up or write that you like us. Whatever you're supposed to do when you like something on YouTube. I don't do any of it, so I need to learn what that is. If you hate it, feel free to give us a thumbs down, or more importantly, write about why you disagree with what we said, or just insult us, because we really care. Have any questions or anything about this episode that we didn't cover or talk about that you would like us to? I feel like with the hour conversation we just had, like, hopefully we've come close to hitting all the interesting points. Maybe not. If there's something that we overlooked or missed, feel free to let us know. Signing off for Alex.
Saying bye.
Bye. I was gonna